Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the World of Wayne. Welcome to Monday, and being Monday we're going to be doing the next 10 stages of the Eagle Moss release of build to James Bond DB5. So if you haven't been following along here, we're basically going to be doing stages 61 to 70 today. And remember, there's only 85 stages, so we are getting near the end already for this. I've put a link to the playlist just at the top here, so you can see this all the way from pack 1. But as I said, we are continuing those stages. Looks like we're going to be doing a little bit on the suspension and the tyres today, the last of the wheels. And we're going to have a look at that ejector seat as well. We don't actually get to use it in this one, but we are going to be making the passenger seat, which is going to engage in the ejector seat mechanism. And I haven't got a clue what all the problems are, but I'm sure I'm going to find out today what the issue is, and hopefully I can fix it before we actually put the whole car together. Now, in the last 15 stages, I'm guessing there's going to be loads to do because we haven't really got much of the car at the moment at all. Everything's in complete pieces all over the place. So, just so you know, I'm not using the instructions that actually come with this magazine. It's impossible to get hold of this build anyway at the moment, but I am using the instructions by Todd McWilliams over MarvelPHX over on my JamesBondDB5.com, and it's so comprehensive to get through that I'm glad that I'm following them, because I don't think I've had many problems at the moment. But you know, 15 stages to go after this, and we don't even know if I'm going to cock up today. Anyway, listen, without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so we're going to start this build as we mean to go on, and as you can see here, we have got stage 61, which is one of the tyres, and that looks just like that. And we get to put that gently down because we don't actually do anything in stage 61. This has become sort of like repetitive against this build, that we get packs with nothing to do. So we just put this to one side and move swiftly on to stage 62. So this is stage 62. As you can see, it's the inner side of the wheel. Look, these are already in the old spinners here, which come out to cut cars to pieces here. That's all one piece. I do love that. We haven't got any assembling to do on that. We do have some screws here. These are size P screws. So I'll put that to one side. What we are going to do is we're going to be putting the tyre around this. Now, I could just push the tyre in here. It's quite soft, but I have still been using my old water method here. Just to soften it up a bit, and it will stop the tyre scuffing as well. Now, some people have said, what about the water that's left in the tyre? Well, I do shake this out before I put this on the car, and believe me, the amount of water that's left in there, that's going to dissipate and evaporate soon anyway, so I won't worry too much about it. I've been using this technique for years, so no problems yet as of yet. But anyway, let's put this wheel on, take it out, and then I'll just push this into the middle, and make sure this rim is around on each side, which it looks to be. God, that's gone on absolutely perfect first time. Just going to dry that off. Obviously, Mrs. World of Wayne doesn't know that I've stolen her tea towels. You can hear there's no water in there, and there we go. That's that stage complete. Okay, in stage 63, as you can see here, God, I need to put a new blade in my scalpel. It's not cutting very well. I have got the rear axle. We also have some screws and some other parts here. So, screw-wise here, we've got type E. Put them there. We've got 11 of type W. Write that on there. And then finally, we've got 3 type Y. These are Y. There we go. So we've got linkages in this bag here. I'm going to get these out. 4 linkages here. Now these linkages are plastic, just so you know, and as you can see, one end of these is longer than the other end here. So I'll get out the whole rear axle section. That looks just like this, and once again, this is all plastic. It's actually can bend a little bit, actually. It's a little bit flexible. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the longer ends of these linkages and we're just going to push them through the holes that we've got here. So one in the top, like that, one in the bottom. And do exactly the same on the other side. One in the top and one in the bottom. There we go. That's all the linkages in place. Now to hold all of these in, stop them coming out, we've got these W screws here with the flange. We're going to need 4 of those. They're going to be coming in from this side here. And that'll keep these in place. So I'll put all 4 of these in and show you what that looks like. And there you go. That's all 4 of those in place with those W screws in the end. So all we've got left to do then is take the differential housing, looking like that. Now as you can see, we have got lugs to line this up, a bigger one and a smaller one. This is just going to go on like this here. And that's going to be held in again on the other side with the size W screws. And there you go. When both of those are in, they should look like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Then stage 64, as you can see here, we've got the transmission shaft, which is a little bit confusing because the old differential housing and stuff we put in was all plastic, but this is all metal. So we are mixing metal with plastic here. Bit crazy, but there you go. Now this pack does come with a size L screw. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the transmission shaft, looking just like this. That's just going to go on the end, over the top of that sort of like lug there. I'm aware there's a lot of black on this, so it is hard to see. But we're going to put an L screw just through this hole here. There we go, nice and tight. And that is in place just like that. So it's weird, this whole section here is plastic, this section here is metal, but that's all there is to do in this stage. So stage 65. Another one of these packs where we've got a tyre, but we're not actually going to do anything with it. We're going to ponder on it, look at it, roll it around. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, just like how we first started this build, stage 66 is the interior of the wheel, with the spinners here which come out, as you can see, like that. And in a similar way to what we've just done, I'm going to get this tyre into some water here and I'll be pushing this on. The reason I'm doing this rather than using a hot gun or anything like that is I don't want to scuff the tyre. There is a chance you're scuffing the tyre when you're trying to get it on this, because this is all metal, you see, so it could cut into that rubber. I don't want that to happen. As you can see, all the brake discs and stuff are already fitted as well. Pretty crazy wheel actually, very detailed. So once again I'm shaking off all the water in that and I'll get this pushed in, move the water away. I'll just dry this off on both sides, and then once again we've got another wheel completed, so that's now 2 completed. Put them to one side and bring over the axle, because we're going to be putting the tyres, we're going to be mounting the tyres onto these pins here. Now as you can see, you've got a thick one and a thin one. When these go on, you've got the mirrored side of that here. As you can see, look, you've got a thick one and a thin one. That's what we want to match up. I want to make sure that axle's fitting flush in there when I've got that in. And that's going to be secured in place with 2 of the P screws that we've got here. So I've got a long neck screwdriver to get these in. One in that side. Just put it in loose for a second. Now, because of everything that we've already put in here, it is really tricky to get this in. So I've put one in gently there, just while I line up the second one. You know, I'd like to tell you that was easy, but that wasn't easy with all of this in the way. It's hard to get screwdrivers onto those 2 points there, but as you can see, that's in absolutely fine. Let's do the other side. If I'm being honest, that was probably one of the hardest things we've had to do in the build, trying to get those in there. But as you can see, they're nice and rigid in there. We have got these that be able to come out and go in, but that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 67, we've got the start of the passenger seat, which means we've got the start of the ejector seat mechanism. Now what I'm going to do while I'm chatting with you about this is I'm going to open all of these parts out. Now from what I understand, the lip under the passenger seat will not engage once it's been activated, the mechanism that we've got for the ejector seat, and that's something we're going to look at later. Now I am opening all these pieces up, but you know what, exactly what I'm going to say here. We're not actually doing anything in this stage. Basically all we're doing is just opening all of these packs up like this, ready for the next stage so we can install them all in place. So stage 68 here, let's get this out. This has got the ejector seat hook and some other parts in here. Now it's this hook here, as you can see from the side, that's going to activate the ejector seat. So when we push this down, this hook here should interlock with the dashboard. I think we'll show you that at the end, so we can try and figure out together what's going on. But the first thing we do is we're going to take the bracket for the chair here, and we've got a seat adjuster that looks just like that. That's just going to go into the hole here, and it's going to be held in from the other side with a type O screw. I've had to go for my box of tricks to find an O screw. Got one here though. Excellent. And there we go, that's the adjuster in place. We're then going to be fitting this to this side of the seat. As you can see, we've got a large lug and a small one. That's just going to go in here like this. And it does make me laugh when all of you say we need more Q screws for curing bond. But we are going to be putting that in with a Q screw here. Again, another fiddly one this is going to be to get in, because we do have a lip here. But there we go, that's in, no problems at all. Now we're going to be putting this into place on the bottom of the chair here. So I'm just going to align everything into place at the back, and then we're going to want to align this screw into the hole just at the side there. Now before we put any of those screws in place, I get another tip on the My James Bond DB5 website, is to actually install this back in first before we actually start attaching this, which is what I am actually going to do. I'm going to just line this up and then size O screw, put this together. So that's one. And there we go, that's the O screws in place. Now I'm going to get this edge in here with a Q screw. And that's going in perfect on that side. That's a lot easier. So again, thank you, Todd, for that little bit of knowledge. That's got that in perfect there. We're going to put the bracket here into the other side. Again, there is lugs to line this up. So that goes in like that. And then once again, we've got a size Q screw just to secure that on the other side here. You can see that from the top camera, I'm sure. And there we go. That's in place as well. Now we're going to hide the screw holes in the back here with these little pieces here, and as you can see there is a little indent in them. So I'll take off the adhesive, and I want to make sure that the indent is facing the indent that we've got on the backs here. And that way, that ensures that they fit in perfectly flush there. Do the same on the other side. And that's the covers in the back. And then I want the Y screws that we had from a couple of packs ago. I need 2 of these screws because we're going to mount the ejector seat mechanism sort of catch here, latch. That goes on this way here. And it's held in with those Y screws. So I've already put one in there. Here's the second one. That latch is now fully into place. I want to make sure it's quite tight in there. Then all we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom section here and the top, making sure that that goes through the slot there, and we're going to piece both of these together like this. Making sure that the screw holes and lugs inside line up, because we're going to be again holding that together with type Y screws. That's one. This one's two. And then finally number 3 at the back here. That's nice and tight. And there we go, that's the seat done with the ejector mechanism underneath. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 69, I'm going to get this out so you can see what this looks like. We've got some of the rear tail lights here. All the electrics are already attached to it and it looks just like that. But we don't actually do anything in that stage. So we can put that safely down. And are you ready for that deja vu feeling? Pack 70, we've just got the other side. I'm going to leave stage 70 in the pack just to differentiate the left and right ones here. But it's exactly the same thing just for the other side of the car. But that, with the seat that we've done, and obviously we built this massive axle in this stage, is all there is to do in that pack, or that is those 10 stages anyway. So we have got 15 stages left to go, which means we've got to build the whole chassis of the car, put everything together, and hopefully things work. But let's have a quick look at this ejector seat. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the spring system here, and I'm guessing this whole back section is going to go into that slot there. So what will happen is this will slot in like this. We're going to push it down, and there is quite a lot of resistance on that spring already. And then what's going to happen is going to clip in like that. So that is in engaged mode there. And then to activate it, we're supposed to just push down on this and it activates the trigger mechanism. Which mine isn't. Let's have a try and figure out what's going on here. Whoa, God, it's got some force, hasn't it? Right, I can see what the problem is. The problem is, there's a lot of force in there. I don't know if we need to have as much force in that. See, that's it engaged. What's supposed to happen is that's supposed to trigger upwards when I push that in. And I'm guessing what's happening is that it's not triggering this far up, because to release it, as you see, it needs to go a little bit further. I push that back in again. It sort of goes in at an angle. So we push the back in first and then sort of rotate it round like that. And that's what holds it in. Again, I'm going to push this down just to see what happens here. It's not giving it enough, as you can see there, to tilt this bar over. I think if I was to raise that just a little bit more, it will activate properly. Again, try again. So again, that's engaged. I'm not going to use it this time. I'm going to use my finger just to see how far it needs to go up before it triggers. Not a lot. But that's something we're going to look at and see if I can redesign that just so that it actually works. There is a technique to actually putting it in, I've noticed, because it's hard to get it back in. And that's to push down with the front end down first and then sort of rotate it round the back there. So when that's in, as you can see, it goes like that. It's a really, really chunky mechanism. But there you go. So again, to activate it, I'm going to hold my hand over the top. We're supposed to push down. But as you can see, there's not enough lift on that base to make that go off. But if I was to actually manually do it, which I will do here. Ready? Manually do it. Bomb. Oh, yeah, I can see why people are having problems with this. Yeah, I've been having to play with that for a good 15 minutes. I think I see what I need to do. I think the hardest thing on that, I can get the trigger working okay, is to actually get the seat back in. The There's got to be an easier way to do that, but I'll try and sort that out in the next stages, because I think that's when we're going to have to start fitting these together. Anyway, I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.